Well, it looks like the person they're going to be trying to get in the Supreme Court is not a good person. And I only say that because of some of the things that when he was a judge he ruled on. Look like I need sleep. And I woke up, was hungry, made me some grits, ate the leftover some chicken I had with a biscuit, and I thought that'd make me sleepy. But anyway, um, I I probably would have went to sleep, but I happened to look at the news there, and um, listened a little bit yesterday to the FBI being investigated. Well, not the FBI being investigated, but the FBI uh, saying during the investigation, not in the, well, anyway, I heard the FBI guys saying that they are investigating the Russians, Russian spies, Russian mafia, um, and I guess um, that we know that Trump, uh, had Miss Universe there, um, it had other dealings there. Um, it looks like a lot of well, anyway, let me go back to the Supreme Court guy. Um, it was very I'm very confused because it seemed like that Supreme he's a horrible guy. They keep saying how he's a nice guy or whatever. But like the one thing that really got to me is when they were mentioning this guy that was in a truck that was broke down and the heat wasn't working and it was freezing where he was at, and how he blamed the guy for his job giving him a defected truck, like in 20-degree weather, and faulting him for deciding, you know, to get warmed up and not to die after somebody called him and woke him up, and he had fell asleep in the cold. But, he's the humanity. And I noticed that with a lot of Republicans, they don't have the humanity, they don't have the understanding. And it's a lack of upbringing. It's a lack of culture. It's a lack of respect that they have. And yeah, I know they're supposed to be billionaires or whatever. Uh, uh, but like to take away somebody's job or like to get fired from a job because you're saving your life and maybe other people's lives. He was he was stuck in a bad situation, and for this judge to not to able to comprehend the humanity, or just that humans have an innate ability to want to survive, that they're able to adapt and you use logic and wisdom to come out of situations like that. And for him not to comfort him, I'm talking about that Neil, what is it, Gorsuch or something? I don't know. The guy sucks, whatever his name is, Neil, whatever. Uh, and I loosely want to call him a judge, but for him not to understand that, I think that he would be a piss poor choice to be a Supreme Court because he wouldn't understand, you know, uh, 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 um, and the worst thing about it is people like them, if they was put in a situation like that, you know what I'm saying, he would not have chose death either. He wouldn't have stayed in there and just froze because you just don't want to do that. So they hypocritical, and if you can't empathize, which means that he can't put himself in that same situation, you know, and understand uh, that that's what humans doing, and also the human, like we're not perfect, to be in, and like this guy Neil, whatever, the Gustav, gruesome, I don't know, gruesome, whatever. I have to look up his name again. Oh, I keep saying suck at the end, which I know is not. It's something else you see, whatever, age, whatever, but I mean, of course, you got the Goosum in the front, or Gosum, or Goose, whatever. I don't know. But his name tells you a lot about, like, because he got teased and bullied with a name like that. So he probably got warped very young, in elementary school somewhere. Probably the third grade was his. But anyway, he doesn't have what it takes to be a judge. You know what I'm saying? Because uh, 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 um one of the things, and with these, like, what, with those people like him that think like that, you notice that he can't even answer any questions. Everything is eluding and evading. He doesn't want anybody to know the evil and the hate, uh, that this, like, to rule in such a way that you find a victim of a situation, instead of finding the owners of the vehicle, the people that hired him, and the dispatcher that was over there being very inhumane. And what I'm saying, we do have a disconnection with understanding and respecting uh, 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 um, other people. And I notice a lot with Christians, they're always willing to judge, like everybody's supposed to be perfect, and then they want everybody to forgive them because they're not perfect. It's like these preachers over here that have sex with boys, and as long as they know that mothers are still gonna drop them off, well, he needs a male influence. You know, they say it on the news every day. These black kids don't have a male influence. If you buy into that, you're a bigger fool than you ever was. Because a lot of us, you know, I don't know how they could not be influenced if they're watching TV and the internet about any male. Simple fact, it takes away the woman's power, in the sense that, because you could birth this child, but you're not good enough to raise this child. You know what I'm saying? Oh, because, like, I got news for, like, a lot of people. When they hit puberty and their balls fall, legally they're a male anyway, so that makes them a man. You know what I'm saying? So, there should be no question after your balls drop and you're now able to produce sperm and get somebody pregnant, female. There shouldn't be no question of your sexual identity or your gender. You should no longer think as a child and do as a child. But that, I mean, but you Christians know better. But he's the type that, that I see, like, some Christians, that they're always judging, and they expect, especially black people, to live at a higher moral, and than they do. They're gonna point out, like, your faults and everything. You know, um, but his fault is that he got so many bones in his or so many skeletons in his closets that when what I'm saying, if he opens up his mouth, a bone falls out. You know what I'm saying? So he can't say anything because he'll just incriminate himself. So a person that can't answer questions. I know if I was interviewing for a job and he was that evasive, and the other people that was also interviewing him, that's like, wanted him on there, was asking the questions that they asked, like, about fishing. What the fuck care about fishing? If the Republicans care that much about fishing and wildlife, then why don't you do your budget to reflect that? How can you be out in the wilderness and want to go hunting, and, oh, we had goats, whatever, This ain't the Mayberry was a make believe place. Well, this man want to live in some make believe place, you know, some illusion. You know what I'm saying? But he is not the right person. He's not the right person only because of his past cases that he already, was a judge on. Uh, he wrote papers after each time he made a verdict, and he's saying in the hearings that he's not political, but everything he was talking about was political. You know what I'm saying? His choice and like, I mean, I've been listening to the Republicans and I'm like, y'all don't make no damn sense. You keep saying this is what Americans want, this is what the Americans want. I've been watching the last 8 years when Obama was president and before that, and people are protesting forever for Planned Parenthood to have the right of choice, so, like whoever they're representing, it must be Russia because it's not really the American people. And I guess they forget that, they want to say, oh, the FBI guy they need to get rid of that FBI guy because he came out just before the election, talking about Hillary and wire this when he supposedly had information that Trump people was talking and making plans with Russia. You know what I'm saying? They say, oh, there's no way they could have hacked. They don't want you to know because they feel that's a security problem. But you need to know that, yeah, once they took those numbers off those voting machines and put them in a computer, yeah, that shit got changed. Because none of the working people will be able to function. Their healthcare thing is ridiculous. Talking about, oh, we're gonna fix it 3 more times. No, if you really want to fix it, first of all, you be telling like if Trump's a good dealer or whatever, a good businessman, the great deal maker, he would tell the insurance company, look, first of all, you're frauding and the American people by your inflated health insurance thing your procedures and policies. It's not benefiting your customers. Either what I'm saying. Um, you're gonna cover the people and you're gonna cover them for a reasonable price, or we'll be the insurance company. You know what I'm saying? He has the power, whatever, to put a bill out there to where we could have a whole department that could handle that. So we don't have to have a whole department in every hospital, a floor dedicated in every hospital. You could just have 2 or 3 people, you know what I'm saying, handle it. But no. And then with Meals on Wheels, he's gonna create jobs. Well, if you stop the funding to Meals on Wheels, well, those people are going to be out of job. The people that drive the people to the food to all his stuff, and to top it off, we should not really be getting a Supreme Court until we find out what's really going on with Trump and the people that so far that he's been parading in front of us has all had some contact with Russia. Every day we found out a new contact. Oh, this person is getting millions of dollars. Oh, $125 million, to represent Turkey and Russia. No, they're not representing America. The Republicans are not acting like patriots. They're acting like haters. You know what I'm saying? And they were so upset that a black man was able to be president and they couldn't find any dirt on him. And I guess he was real lucky because y'all was trying to project the dirt that you had. Now, maybe he ain't no whore. Yeah, maybe he ain't no low-down, backstabbing, lying hypocrite. And instead of respecting that qualities in a person, that this person has morals, this person has convictions. This person is a humble and humane person that can empathize with the plight of the poor. Instead of respecting that from Obama, they're trying to act like, we can respect the poor. And we don't need a Supreme Court judge that doesn't respect, empathize, or has the humanity to understand that a person is not going to be able to stay out for 3 or 4 hours in 20-degree weather plus. You know, you can't. And oh yeah, that's one of his things. He thinks corporations should have the same rights as humans. And when a corporation delivers a baby, a live walking ass baby, then maybe it's the same as the dog. When the corporation, never mind, it lacks logic, it lacks intelligence. And that is something that we need to put back in our government. And that's why I think we also need to get rid of that FBI guy because he lacks the intelligence. And I don't mean no disrespect or anything, but they acting more like a police department than the FBI. And I know, like from the police around here, they think they super fly. They don't watch all the black movies from the '70s when like we was just criminals. When we was just hard working factory workers coming out of Vietnam, dentists, doctors, lawyers, school teachers, nurses, and stuff. You know, now I can't throw a rock without hitting somebody as a dope dealer. Oh, and by the way, you could get off of heroin the same way you get over the flu. Because I remember when the guys came back from Vietnam, the black guys especially, it was in the '70s, right? One of the things they all thought they was gonna just be heroin addicts. I'm talking about the black guys. Black guys there was a different breed when they wasn't all about like, I gotta go to the titty bar and I'm a man, I gotta fuck, you know what I'm saying? Gotta have me 2 or 3 women. When they was more about their survival and comprehending humanity, they didn't want 2 or 3 women. They was happy with the one woman, and the same way you always hear about that if she was satisfied, man, wouldn't mess around on you. But I guess they was satisfying their women because it's like, never mind. I know, like in my case, my parents were together forever, and a lot of other people until then all at once in the '80s. But anyway, when the guys came back from Vietnam on heroin, they all was sick for like 14 days. You know what I'm saying? They kicked the habit. Now they can't kick the habit. I mean, it's different than cocaine and crack, but now everybody's dying from it, and a lot of it is a lack of humanity. As long as we have people like this Judge Neil Gorsuch is this suck a dick. I don't know who he is. This Gorsuch. It sounds like the guard they use like in those dungeons like in France or Germany somewhere to clean out the shit bucket. That's what his family was. They're the ones that clean out the shit bucket. And instead of respecting their past and being appreciative and humble, he wants to punish, everybody that he comes across. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. I don't like anybody. I don't think that the Democrats is doing the American people a favor by going ahead with these Supreme Court hearings. You know what I'm saying? When they got robbed of the opportunity to put somebody decent in there in the first place, if they would put somebody in there that so far his rulings have, to me, it's been a mockery of the court system. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace that we have a presidency that we have now, and that we have somebody that's running for Supreme Court that views is that it would benefit more China than it would the United States.